What is up, YouTube? This is Eric, and today we're taking a closer look at the Hummer EV 2X truck. And this one in particular is a fairly unique model in that it's in void black, which is a color upgrade. Controversial in my opinion. We'll talk about that in a second. And also because it has the off-road package. So it's got these 18-inch off-road tires. You can check them out down here. It's also got the skid plates underneath. Okay, let's check those out. Oops. See that? So I'm gonna compare these to the SUV one later, but it's also in extract mode. That's kind of important to know. So it's at its highest ride height right now. So it does have to be in terrain mode when you do that. And it does have a lifted mode you could drive around in. That looks pretty badass, but other than that, so the black color, the void black, as you can see here, it's got some nice sparkle and shine to it. This is fresh from the dealer, so of course it looks its best right now. I say black is controversial because when it's clean, it looks amazing, but it is so easy to get dirty. The other thing, of course, with the off-road package, it has underbody cameras, which are fun. They also wash themselves, which is cool. This, I think, is the nicest interior color. This is called Lunar Shadow. It's just black all around. They have a white interior color that has this kind of like, this cloth style stuff here is white. And I just see that getting so dirty so fast. So this is my favorite interior color. And the other thing it has is these transparent sky panels, which kind of give off like a blue hue, but they also offer a tinted one. So these ones are actually an upgrade, and it is called the Infinity Roof with transparent sky panels. Okay, and for me, I am not a fan of these because they let in so much sunlight. Like, it's 80 degrees today in Southern California, and it feels like 100 degrees in the car. The other ones that are tinted do a much better job at blocking the sunlight. All right, let's talk about this rear window here. This is great. Panorama, just pure goodness back there. I love it. Looks great. These seats, super comfortable. And the rear seats. Okay, these are great. Got a lot of space. We've got 2 car seats in here. I've got a booster seat there and a big kid's seat here. And underneath you've got some space, not as much as like say a F-150, but you can kind of get an idea for what you could store down there, like maybe a skateboard size stuff. And so yeah, there's room for 5 full-grown adults, no big deal. 3 climate zones, so the rear seat is back here with the USB-A and USB-C ports. You've got a nice center pull down with 2 oversized cup holders. And then there's secret storage on the seat over there. And this seat, if you pull that lever, it comes out. I'll show you that in a second. On the other side, locking front and rear differential with that off-road package as well. This is the step to get into the truck bed, and it's nice. It could have the kicker sound system, Bluetooth sound system. This one does not. So we'll step in. Great bed, comes finished. This particular one did not come with the automated tonneau cover, which is an excellent add-on. It's a few $1,000s, but if I was buying the truck, I would totally get it. Very clean, very awesome. And then you've got 1 power port AC 120 volt 400 watt max back here. So that's it for the truck bed. Nice, beautiful truck. Charging port. There you go, easy peasy. This thing charges getting fast with my level 2 charger at home. It does about 15 miles per hour. Yeah, let me just show you this real quick. Okay, so secret storage, pull that open, and you got room for a nice handgun in there. Just kidding. You got room for some toys in there, let's say that. Beautiful truck. I also love that the windows are frameless. Okay, so the inside, once we're in, obviously these panels are removable and you can store those in the front, which, by the way, let's check out the front before we do anything else. One press down here, come right up. So you've got your bags to store all of the goodness in here. The extra stuff that comes with the Hummer there. So we will close this puppy up. And close the door. Scan the 2X badge there. 3 windshield wipers. Let's check out the interior. So actually, I think these seats are extremely comfortable. I love driving this thing. It is super fast, super comfortable. The Super Cruise actually works really well on the freeway. The self-parking button here does a great job of parking this giant beast. But because it's got 4-wheel steer, it actually, you don't even really need to use the automatic parking, which, by the way, we'll just pretend. I'm going to push that on. Oh, the tailgate's open, so it's not going to let me go into that mode. So anyways, you would push this on, a little screen would come up and you'd be choosing where you want to park based on what's next to you and stuff like that. Awesome, it works great. Storage, you've got the wireless charger here and then USB-C and A here. Not a ton of storage, just maybe 1 or 2 phones there and that's it. Oversized cup holder is great. Gear shift, great. Mode switch, great. Not a ton of storage, not compared to an F-150 in the center console. There's enough in there. But what's funny to me is that how small, given the space that the glove box is, relatively tiny, considering that you have all this. Like, what could possibly be behind here that we don't have room for a full-size glove box? And then what my wife finds funny is that look how giant the sun visor is and how small the mirror is, right? So that's always her quip about cars. And the other funny thing is, let's fully extend that sun visor, and it does not cover the full length of the window, right? And so that's you're missing a lot of sunshine there, GM. So that probably is an easy fix with a little larger bar there. But anyways, infotainment's excellent, it's very responsive. Hey, we've got Apple CarPlay on here. We've got Android Auto, which Tesla doesn't. These physical buttons, everyone loves these. You know, you gotta easily switch between all the stuff that you use here. It just repurposes some of the buttons, and just looks cool as heck, and just plain works. You got the locking differentials there. The steering wheel heater, and the traction control, park assist, parking warnings, and then the park assist that will literally park your car for you. That's what I was just talking about. This is the secret camera that watches you the whole time, Big Brother. It's a little bit scary, given, but that is the requirement that they have, so you can use Super Cruise here on the freeways, which again works really well. To do Super Cruise, first you gotta enable adaptive cruise control, set it, and then you press this Super Cruise button. This turns green, and then you engage Super Cruise, and it is just a nice, easy ride from there. I love it. And here you've got the main things to modify this screen, which I think this screen could have been done better. I often use it in what's called simple mode, and just don't need all this extra information unless you're off-roading or stuff like that. Also, when you're in Super Cruise, this will flash red when it's not available anymore and warn you, or if you're not paying attention or looking at your phone, this will flash red and warn you in different ways until it will eventually pull the car over and stuff like that. This is nice in that you've got the rear view camera mirror, so like that. It's a regular rear view mirror when you do like this, and that's just like, it's been in GM cars for a long time, but I love it. OnStar, also got the home link, which Tesla doesn't have, so I appreciate the little things in life. If we're comparing it to the Cybertruck, you know, it is very different in very many ways, but still cool and competitive with it, I feel. And so this opens and closes that panoramic back window back there. And then this is just the lighting controls for the door when open. And yeah, I think that's basically it for the interior. So if I just to recap, everything's pretty good. The infotainment's pretty good. You've got a couple of buttons down here for opening the front, the trunk, lane keep assist, putting down all windows. This will put down all windows, but it won't put them all back up. And actually, the one thing I hear from people is they don't know how to put up that rear panoramic window because this switch is so hidden up here that they don't know that it exists. And so I've seen some dealers giving hints on how to secretly activate that window because they don't even know where that button is. But if I press this button, it's going to roll down all the windows in the truck. Right? So all the windows are down. But it won't roll them back up. You know? So even though I press that again and again and again, or even if you hold it, it won't go back up. And these are not automatic either. So I have to manually raise all of the windows. Okay, so we will drive this around and we'll continue the review, but that is the interior of the Hummer EV 2X with the off-road package truck. And the cameras real quick because the cameras on this are excellent. Really, really well done cameras. Okay. So you've got the overhead view, which is awesome. You've got the front view, and you've got the rear view. I don't know why it's doing rear overhead. Oh, because the tailgate's open. So that's why you're looking at the license plate. But if the tailgate wasn't open, I assure you, we'd be looking at the cars behind us. And then this is just combination views, side tire views, trailer view. Okay. Back to here, and then some more trailer views and stuff like that. So then we can do that. Oh, whoops. Here we go back here, and we do over, and now we can do the underbody. Under front, under rear. See the tires moving there. And as you can see, they get it's dirty, and that's like barely used. So let's try washing it. Aha! It works. It's like a bidet for your cameras. Look how much clearer that is. That actually worked incredibly well. Love it. Okay. How about this one? Just give it a quick little rinse-a-roo, and you're golden. Combined views. The overhead of your truck bed, so you can keep an eye on your stuff before it falls on the road. So yeah, I mean, incredible the amount of cameras in this thing and how good they are. Love it. Super helpful when parking this big rig. All right, let's drive this around. Let's talk about driving the Hummer EV. So first of all, this is a very smooth ride thanks to the four-wheel steering. It is just so easy to maneuver this thing and get around. Absolutely love it. And then let's talk about how fast it is. So this is the 2X, so it doesn't have the watts of freedom mode, which you have to engage anyways, but here's how fast it is. So you can do your own math on that, but that was not from a standstill. That was me making that turn to 60 in what felt like 3.5, 4 seconds. So not too much slower than 3X. And this thing just glides. It feels like it's riding on air. Reminds me a lot of the Ford Raptor with the Fox suspension versus this air suspension on this. You know, it's just gliding in the air. And this thing is awesome. Engage Super Cruise, self-driving here. There we go. Came right on. Hands off the wheel. And now we just cruise super style. Easy as that. So it is a full-size Hummer EV. As you can see, we take up about the whole lane. I'm trying to see if you can see in that mirror how it's doing. It's doing a great job of staying perfectly lane center. A lot of braking ahead of us here. See how it handles that. So right now it's set at 62 max. We can adjust that with this here. 63. Okay, so I've got it in one pedal mode, which means when I let off the pedal, it's automatically braking for me using the regenerative braking feature. So as you can see, as I let off on the gas, it slows down. It also engages the brake light, and at night you can see it in the rear view mirror up here to make sure. But it is telling people that you're braking, and that's kind of the one fear that I've seen people exhibit when I tell them about the one pedal system here. The brake, of course, always works no matter what, and sometimes you will need to extra apply the brake for emergencies and such, but one pedal driving is a cinch on this thing, and I love it, and that's the only way I drive it. All right, so wrapping it up, I think the Hummer EV truck is amazing. It's bold. It gets a ton of compliments everywhere it goes. The four-wheel steering is just insane. You're able to maneuver this giant beast into parking spots like nothing else. The steer-by-wire is, incredibly rare. It's only in a few cars. And performance, incredible acceleration for a, over 3-ton truck. The off-road capability is exceptional. And the negatives, it's got some big ones. The range anxiety. I did a trip to Palm Springs recently, and I was a little bit worried. Luckily, there's a ton of chargers out there. And the quirks, of which there are many in this, don't make you feel great either for how expensive it is. And then, of course, the big brother factor of somebody always watching you. So hopefully you enjoyed this review. Please like and subscribe. And I'll be posting some more Hummer content here soon. Thanks.